Senate will come to order. Mr. Schauffele, please call the roll.
Senators Amabile, Baisley, Ball, Bridges, Bright, Carson, Catlin, Cutter, Danielson, Danielson. Oh, she is. Doherty. Doherty.
Excuse.
Exum.
Excuse.
Frizzell. Gonzalez. Hendrickson. Judah. Kipp. Kirkmeyer. Colker. Liston. Lundin. Marchman. Marchman.
Excuse.
Michelson Janae. Mullica. Pelton B. Pelton R. Rich. Roberts. Rodriguez. Simpson. Snyder. Sullivan. Weisman. Winter. Senate District 17 vacant. Mr. President.
Let's do this. The morning roll call is 31 present, 0 absent, 3 excused, and 1 vacant. We have a quorum. Senator Weisman, would you please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Thank you. Good morning, members. Please join me in the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Approval of the journal. Senator Baisley.
Good morning, Mr. President.
Good
Thank you.
morning.
Mr. President, I move that the Senate Journal of March 3rd, 2025 be approved as corrected by the Secretary.
You've heard the motion. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Yes, the ayes still have it, and the motion is adopted. Senate Services.
Correctly printed, Senate Bill 187, 188, and 189. Correctly engrossed, Senate Bill 58, 87, 170, and 180. Senate Joint Resolution 8. Correctly re-engrossed, Senate Bill 133 and 146. Correctly revised, House Bill 1077. Correctly re-revised, House Bill 1053 and 1084. Correctly enrolled, Senate Bill 38 and 52.
Committee reports.
The Committee on Education has had under consideration and has had a hearing on the following appointments and recommends that the appointments be placed on the consent calendar and confirmed. Members of the College Invest Board of Directors for terms expiring July 31st, 2028. David Gross of Boulder, Colorado, appointed. Christine Heights of Denver, Colorado, appointed. Committee on Education. After consideration on the merits, the committee recommends the following. House Bill 1131 be referred to the Committee of the Whole with a favorable recommendation and with the recommendation that it be placed on the consent calendar. Committee on Judiciary. After consideration on the merits, the committee recommends the following. House Bill 1114 be amended as follows and as so amended be referred to the Committee of the Whole with favorable recommendation. Committee on Judiciary. After consideration on the merits, the committee recommends the following. Senate Bill 171 be referred to the Committee of the Whole with favorable recommendation and with a recommendation that it be placed on the consent calendar. Committee on Judiciary. After consideration on the merits, the committee recommends the following. Senate Bill 126 be referred favorably to the Committee on Appropriations. Committee on Judiciary. After consideration on the merits, the committee recommends the following. House Bill 1138 be referred to the Committee of the Whole with favorable recommendation and with a recommendation that it be placed on the consent calendar.
Mr. Schauffele, please add Senator Doherty to the roll. Third reading of bills. Consent calendar. Mr. Schaffler, please read the titles of all the bills on the consent calendar.
Senate Bill 170 by Senators Amabile and Kirkmeyer and Representatives Byrd and Sirota concerning a state-funded response to genetic testing backlogs. Senate Bill 180 by Senators Kirkmeyer and Amabile and Representatives Taggart and Sirota concerning the method of calculating state population growth for purposes of calculating state fiscal year spending pursuant to Section 20 of Article 10 of the state constitution. House Bill 1077 by Representatives Leader and Ricks and Senators Roberts and Rich concerning requirements for individuals who work on backflow prevention devices and in connection therewith removing the licensure requirement for individuals who inspect, test, or repair the devices.
Mr. Schaffler, please add Senator Marchman to the roll. Majority Leader Rodriguez.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move for the passage of all the bills on third reading of bills, final passage consent calendar, which are Senate Bill 170, Senate Bill 180, and House Bill 1077.
Is there any discussion on any of the bills? Senator Pelton B.
Thank you, Mr. President. So I just wanted to come up here and talk about House Bill 1077. It is a fix to a bill that we passed last year. And I want to thank both the sponsors on this bill for working with us to make sure we got it fixed. We must be cognizant of the fact that what we passed could potentially have negative impacts on the private sector. What happened last year was my mistake. I let an amendment go through without paying attention to it, and it had a huge negative impact on private businesses, just businesses and people's jobs throughout the state. And I just would like to apologize to the water techs all throughout Colorado. They deserved better than that, and it was my fault, my mistake, and I'm not going to let it happen again. We as a body must remember that we must take our votes seriously because they can have negative impacts on real people. So many jobs were affected by this legislation. A significant amount of businesses could have went out of business because of one amendment that slipped by. Again, I want to apologize to the water techs for what happened, and I also want to thank them for the wonderful job they do to protect our water quality. So thank you, Mr. President. I ask for an aye vote.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Seeing none, the motion is the passage of all the bills on third reading of bills consent calendar. Are there any no votes? Seeing none, with a vote of 33 ayes, 0 noes, 0 absent, 1 excused, and 1 vacant, Senate Bill 170 is passed. Co-sponsors, Senators Roberts, Weissman, Kipp, Henriksen, Winter, Michelson-Janae, Marchman, Senator Winter, Judah, Gonzalez, Ball, Cutter, Sullivan, Snyder, Frizzell, please add the president. With a vote of 33 ayes, 0 noes, 0 absent, 1 excused, and 1 vacant, Senate Bill 180 is passed. Co-sponsors, Senators Pelton B., Kipp, Judah, Michelson-Janae, Ball. Gonzalez. Cutter. Winter. Snyder. Please add the president. With a vote of 33 ayes, 0 no, 0 absent, 1 excused, 1 vacant, House Bill 1077 is passed. Co-sponsors, Senators Pelton B., Catlin, Frizzell, Baisley, Liston, Pelton R., Carson, Bright, Doherty, Mr. Minority Leader, Mr. Majority Leader, Mr. Minority Leader again, Amabile, Bridges, Bridges again, Colker, Cutter, Weissman, Henriksen, Michelson Janae, Winter, Kip, Judah, Marchman. Please add the president. Third reading of bills. Final passage. Mr. Schaffler, please read the title to Senate Bill 58.
Senate Bill 58 by Senator Snyder and Representatives Ryden, concerning a model act to provide a framework that allows insurance companies to give rebates that meet specified criteria to maintain consumer protections.
Senator Snyder.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move Senate Bill 58 on third reading and final passage.
Any discussion? Seeing none, the motion is the passage of Senate Bill 58. Are there any no votes? Senators Weissman. With a vote of 32 ayes, 1 no, 0 absent, 1 excused, and 1 vacant, Senate Bill 58 is passed. Co-sponsors, Senators Michelson Janae, Mullica, Mr. Schaffler, please read the title to Senate Bill 87.
Senate Bill 87 by Senator Marchman and Representatives Stewart and Brooks, concerning establishing academic adjustments for students with disabilities in the institutions of higher education.
Senator Marchman.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move SB 87 on third reading and final passage.
Any discussion? Seeing none, the motion is the passage of Senate Bill 87. Are there any no votes? Senators, Mr. Minority Leader, Simpson, Baisley, Catlin, Rich, Liston, Pelton R., Carson, Bright, Frizzell, Kirkmeyer, Pelton B. With a vote of 21 ayes, 12 noes, 0 absent, 1 excused, and 1 vacant, Senate Bill 87 is passed. Co-sponsors, Senators Weissman, Colker, Sullivan, Roberts, Snyder, Danielson, Cutter, Ball, Gonzalez, Judah, Kip, Henriksen, Winter, Michelson Janae. Please add the president. General orders, second reading of bills. Consent calendar. Senator Judah.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that the Senate resolve itself into committee of the whole for consideration of general orders, second reading of bills.
You've heard the motion. Oh, consent calendar.
Consent calendar.
There we go. You've heard the motion. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, no. Wow, there's one no, but the motion is adopted, and the Senate will resolve itself in committee of the whole for consideration of general order, second reading of bills, consent calendar, and Senator Judah will take the chair.
The committee will come to order, and the court rule is relaxed. Do I do? Will the clerk please read the title of the bills on the general orders, second reading of bills, consent calendar?
Senate
Mr.
Bill
Majority
78 by Senator Peltonar and Representative Lukens concerning the authorization of certain nonprofit hospitals to enter into collaborative agreements with other health facilities.
Mr. Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move for the passage of the bill on second reading of bills consent calendar, which is Senate Bill 78 and the Health and Human Services Report.
Is there any discussion on the committee report? The motion before us is the adoption of the committee report on general orders, second reading of bills, consent calendar. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it, and the committee report is adopted. Is there any discussion on the bill, on the consent calendar? The motion before the body is the adoption of the bill on the consent calendar, second reading of bills, consent calendar. All those in favor say aye. Opposed? The ayes have it, and the bill is adopted. Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move the committee rise and report.
You've heard the motion. The committee will rise and report.
The motion is the committee to rise and report. Say that.
The motion is for the committee to rise and report. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, say no.
No.
The ayes have it. The motion is adopted. The committee report will rise and report. Committee will rise and report.
The Senate will come to order. Senator Judah.
Thank you, Mr. President.
The committee has had a bill
The committee has had a bill
under consideration.
under consideration. Will the clerk please read the report?
March 4, 2025. Mr. President, your committee of the whole begs leave to report it has had under consideration the following attached bills, being the second reading thereof, and makes the following recommendations thereon. Senate Bill 78, as amended, passed on second reading and ordered engrossed and placed on the calendar for third reading and final passage.
Senator Judah.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move the report.
The motion is the adoption of the committee of the whole report. Are there any no votes? With a vote of 33 ayes, 0 no, 0 absent, 1 excused, and 1 vacant, the committee of the whole report is adopted. Senate Bill 78 is amended, passed on second reading, ordered engrossed and placed on the calendar for third reading and final passage. General orders. Second reading of the bill. Senator Judah.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that the Senate resolve itself into the committee of the whole for the consideration of general orders, second reading of bills.
You've heard the motion. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it, and the motion is adopted. The Senate will resolve himself in committee of the whole for consideration of general order, second reading of the bills, and Senator Judah will take the chair. Get you some.
The committee will come to order, and the court rule is relaxed. Will the clerk please read the title to SB 141?
Senate Bill 141 by Senator Peltonar and Representative Winter concerning an exemption for certain municipalities from the requirement to adopt an energy code for residential buildings.
Mr. Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move to lay over Senate Bill 141 until Wednesday, March the 5th.
The motion is to lay over SB 141 until Wednesday, March 5th, 2025. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. SB 141 will be laid over until Wednesday, March 5th. Will the clerk please read the title of HB 1029?
House Bill 1029 by Representatives Basnicker and Kipp concerning the scope of municipal authority over land that a municipality acquires that is outside its municipal limits.
Mr. Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move to lay over House Bill 1029 until Wednesday, March the 5th.
The motion is to lay over HB 1029 to Wednesday, March 5th. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. HB 1029 will be laid over until Wednesday, March 5th, 2025. Will the clerk please read the title to SB 85?
Senate Bill 85 by Senators Jaquez Lewis and Kipp and Representatives Rittenell and Pascal concerning the adoption of animals that are test subjects of health-related research.
Senator Kipp.
Thank you. I move the Health and Human Services Committee report and SB 85.
To the Health and Human Services Committee report.
Thank you. So we had three little pieces to this little amendment, and basically we're doing some clarifications and also removing some reporting requirements.
Is there any further discussion on the committee report? Seeing none, the motion is the motion is to adopt the Health and Human Services Committee report. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed say no. The ayes have it, and the committee report is adopted. To the bill, Senator Kipp.
Thank you. First, I would like to thank the good senator from Highlands Ranch for joining me on this bill. I always appreciate it when we can find common ground on these things. Senate Bill 85 is pretty straightforward. It requires facilities that test on animals to adopt out healthy and safe dogs and cats when the research has concluded. There's minimal reporting requirements, and I urge a yes vote.
Any further discussion? Senator Carson.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Yes, I'm pleased to join the senator from Fort Collins on this bill. I did vote for it in the Health Committee. I think it's a reasonable bill. There's been a lot of stakeholder input taken. Just a couple of notes. The requirement to report all of the dogs and cats used in research was taken out. You just have to report on the adoption program, the numbers on adoptions. There's an exception for internal adoption programs. There's reasonable exceptions where there's danger or health involved and the dog or cat can be euthanized. So I think it's a very reasonable bill that recognizes the importance of the research that these animals do for our health as a society. And it also recognizes, that we can give them a second chance. I've seen a lot of when my parents were in assisted living toward the end of their lives, you would see these pets come in and the joy that brings to seniors in assisted living, the joy it brings to children in hospitals. There's a lot that these pets can do to help our society with mental health issues. And so I think this bill is a very reasonable recognition of just we can give these pets a second chance. They don't all have to be euthanized. So thank you very much. Hope you'll vote yes.
Is there any further discussion? Senator Rich.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I think that it's a good bill. Don't get me wrong. I love dogs and cats, and I think the idea is very good. But here we go again. I don't know what's going on with these fiscal notes and how this has all changed this year, where it looks like there's not an appropriation, but there's a departmental difference. Colorado State University estimates that this bill requires an appropriation of $50,000. And it seems to me that when these budget analysts are talking with the various agencies, for some reason, they seem to think they know more than the agencies themselves. And so that concerns me because that's a way for the front page of the appropriations or the fiscal note to show no appropriation, and I'm concerned about that. Thank you.
Senator Kipp.
Thank you to my good colleague for bringing that up. I do appreciate it. So here's what's going on with that. I was actually pulled out of the hearing by the person who was representing CSU and was told that that departmental difference. So when they talked to CSU, they gave them the number for the program that they are already doing at the CSU Veterinary Teaching Hospital for their program. So that is the number for that, and then the little bit of additional reporting. So I've talked to the fiscal analyst, and I expect that fiscal note is going to be different when it comes out in the next version. So thank you for pointing that out.
Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, the motion before the body is the adoption of SB 085. All those in favor say aye. All opposed say no. The ayes have it, and the bill is adopted. Will the clerk please read the title to SB 128?
Senate Bill 128 by Senators Pelton B. and Roberts and Representatives McCormick and Winter concerning repealing certain provisions that prohibit an employer from interfering with an agricultural employee's access to service providers, and in connection therewith repealing provisions that prohibit an employer from interfering with an agricultural employee's access to service providers on private land.
Mr. Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move to lay over Senate Bill 128 until Thursday, March 6th.
The motion is to lay over SB 128 to Thursday, March 6th. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. SB 128 will be laid over until Thursday, March 6th. Mr. Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move the committee rise and report.
The motion before the committee is to rise and report. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed say no. The ayes have it, and the committee will rise and report.
Senate will come to order. Senator Judah.
Thank you, Mr. President. The committee has met and had a number of bills under consideration. Will the clerk please read the report?
March 4th, 2025. Mr. President, your committee of the whole begs leave to report it has had under consideration the following attached bills, being the second reading thereof, and makes the following recommendations thereon. Senate Bill 85, as amended, passed on second reading and ordered engrossed and placed on the calendar for third reading and final passage. Senate Bill 141, House Bill 1029, as amended, laid over until March 5th, 2025, and retaining their place in the calendar. Senate Bill 128, laid over until March 6th, and retaining its place in the calendar.
Senator Judah.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move the report.
The motion is the adoption of the committee of the whole report. Are there any no votes? With a vote of 33 ayes, 0 noes, 0 absent, 1 excused, 1 vacant, the committee of the whole report is adopted. Senate Bill 85 is amended, passed on second reading, and ordered engrossed and placed on counter for third reading and final passage. Senate Bill 141 and House Bill 1029 as amended, laid over until 3/5/2025, retaining their place on the calendar, and Senate Bill 128 laid over until 3/6/2025, and retaining its place on the calendar. Consideration of governor's appointments, consent calendar. Mr. Schaffler, please read the appointments listed on the consent calendar.
Members of the Colorado Tourism Office Board of Directors for a term expiring June 1st, 2027, Amanda Parsons of Denver, Colorado, to serve as a representative of the hotel, motel, and lodging industry, occasioned by the resignation of Daniel Perallo of Steamboat Springs, Colorado, appointed. For a term expiring June 1st, 2026, Bruce Dalton of Aurora, Colorado, to serve as a representative of the destination marketing industry, occasioned by the resignation of Rachel Brown of Durango, Colorado, appointed. For terms expiring June 1st, 2028, Vinay Patidar of Denver, Colorado, to serve as a representative of the tourism-related retail industry and small business, reappointed. Jennifer Shea of Steamboat Springs, Colorado, to serve as a representative of the ski industry, appointed.
Majority Leader Rodriguez.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move for the passage of all the appointments of the consideration of governor's appointments consent calendar, which include Amanda Parsons of Denver, Bruce Dalton of Aurora, Vinay Patidar of Denver, and Jennifer Shea of Steamboat Springs for the Colorado Tourism Office Board of Directors.
Any discussion? Seeing none, The motion is the confirmation of the appointments on the consent calendar. Are there any no votes on the consent calendar? Seeing none, with 33 ayes, 0 noes, 0 absent, 1 excused, and 1 vacant, those appointments are confirmed. Announcements. Senator Rich.
Thank you, Mr. President. The Statutory Revision Committee is meeting tomorrow morning, Wednesday, March the 5th, 7:30, in House Committee Room 107. We will be considering 6 bill drafts.
Thank you. Senator Wiseman.
Thank you, Mr. President. State Affairs will meet today at 2 p.m. in our usual room, 352. We have 3 bills on our agenda. They are 156, 139, and then 158 back for action only, that having been heard previously. See you at 2.
Thank you. Senator Kipp.
Thank you, Mr. President. Today, Senate Finance will be meeting in our usual room, SCR 357 at 2 p.m. We will be considering appointments for members of the Securities Board and hearing Senate Bill 80.
Thank you. Senator Michelson Janae. And Senator Cutter.
Thank you, Mr. President. We just are up here to call your attention to the fact that at least 7,000 jobs are being cut from an agency that is already at a 50-year staffing low, and that agency is the Social Security Administration. Oh, I beg your pardon.
Just say it.
A moment of personal privilege.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry
granted.
about that. So this agency, many of our family members and depend on Social Security, and I'm just deeply concerned about what this means for the on-time payments and the people that depend on it.
Senator Michelson Janae.
The expectation is that, may I have a moment of personal privilege?
Granted.
Thank you. The expectation is that the public is going to suffer terribly as a result of this. Local field offices will close, hold times will increase, and people will be sicker, hungry, or die when checks don't arrive or a disability hearing is delayed just 1 month too late. I encourage all of our constituents who are worried about their Social Security to reach out to us and let us know so that we can carry your words to our federal delegation.
Thank you. Additional announcements. Seeing no further announcements, Mr. Majority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. President. Colleagues, we are going to be reading some bills across the desk, so no need to return. On that note, Mr. President, I move that the Senate recess until 10:30 a.m. today.
You heard the motion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. The Senate will stand in recess until 10:30 a.m. today.